deliver, with more highs and lows than ever before. We have a mind-bending story.
I thought it was great. None of us could predict if it was going to work or not.
Travel to foreign locations.
We're in Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands. It's brave to come out here, and it's exciting.
Take a ride in an iconic TARDIS.
This is every fanboy's dream, and I get to do this as my job.
And witness the departure of a companion.
It's been the best part of my life for the last 4 years now. I think life will be really, really strange without it.
Heaven Sent gave us an episode like no other, with an intricate plotline, a single location, and exclusively featuring the Doctor. Making this episode was particularly difficult for all involved.
This is unlike anything I've ever written before, because there really is pretty much only one speaking part in this.
I didn't know that I could do it. You know, you worry about the audience just having this one face to look at all the time.
It just turned out to be as spaghetti-heading to direct as it was to write. So I think on a scale of 1 to 10, it was sort of a 25.
It is extraordinary when you realise the sheer value of 2 voices in a scene, or 3 or 10 voices in a scene. Just, you can't break it up. Everything has to work. There have to be reasons why he's talking out loud. There have to be reasons why you're going into voiceover. It changes the rhythm of everything you do.
It's all about fear. Working hypotheses. And in a fully automated haunted house in a mechanical maze.
It's something that I've never done before. So I've absolutely got no prior experience of it to rely on, which is quite a good thing to do to yourself as a writer sometimes.
I was very surprised when I read it that it was going to be exclusively the Doctor, although there was a creature there. I thought it was great. I thought it was quite ambitious.
The script is a masterpiece, a genius puzzle box. How are we possibly going to do this? I had to draw, practically on every single page of my script is a drawing of the basic structure of the castle, so that everyone had a chance of understanding, and it's very much like a wheel in some ways.
I told you I was scared of dying, and I wasn't lying either. Advantage me! Because you won't see this coming.
I'm very fortunate to have this very open, comfortable relationship with Peter. So we were able to have a dialogue all the time about the complexity of the script.
It was such an unusual episode that all of us never really knew what it was going to be like. None of us could predict if it was going to work or not, particularly because it had a temporal element. You'd only receive if the whole thing worked when you saw it as a finished episode.
The complexities didn't stop there. It was really important that this episode had a very unique atmosphere.
Stephen said, make it beautiful, make it distinctive, and make it scary. I love scary anyway, and I'm known for horror. And so, but to be told to make it beautiful, it wasn't just get it on film, but make sure that this has an incredibly distinctive look. That was a dream come true. So that opened the door hugely to make it different.
It's the Doctor's nightmare. It's part of the mechanism in which he is trapped. If you were trapped in the confession dial, in your confession dial, it would be a different nightmare. It would be a nightmare tailor-made to you, a bespoke horror.
First set of images I pulled were from Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And what I really wanted was hard shadows. So if you go into the corridor scenes, for instance, all the shadows make no sense. Sometimes the sun's coming from 4 different directions. It's the kind of things that drive people crazy. But I wanted to really push that look.
All of us are locked in the castle of grief sometime, and that's kind of the story, him fighting his way out of loss.
Well over 1 billion years. Oh, you must think that's a hell of a long time.
from this heavyweight episode, we punch straight into the crescendo of the series. The Doctor has arrived back home on Gallifrey, hell-bent on a showdown with the Time Lords.
I don't know that I always planned that this was going to happen, but at a certain point, I reached a point in the storytelling when you realise, well, yes, it's going to. I knew that he went back to Gallifrey and he had a selfish agenda. He's lost his best friend. He has been through literal hell for longer than even he has ever borne anything. He's almost not the Doctor when he walks onto Gallifrey. He's almost lost it all. You see a glimpse of what the War Doctor was. You see a glimpse of just how terrifying he can be. He's Clint Eastwood. He's dangerous. And he plays it to the hilt. I think Peter's performance is astounding.
To recreate the iconic locations seen in the show required the crew to pack up the TARDIS and head abroad to sunnier climes.
We're in Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands, which is on the same parallel as the Sahara Desert. Beautiful arid desert landscape and some volcanic landscape as well to vary it up. Yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous, and sun that we don't have in Wales.
It's worth coming to places like this because it opens up the vistas of the programme and makes it bigger, because it is bigger.
It's been tough, really tough. We've had sandstorms, and there's a reason that they use sand and sandpaper, because it hurts. So we've had a lot of wind, which has made it difficult to do the crane and the drone shots, and it's difficult to act and difficult to hear.
I thought the soldiers and the High Council all looked amazing in their outfits. It was very tough for them because it was very hot, obviously. But they didn't complain and just looked fantastic.
And what's so fabulous about Doctor Who, obviously, is that every episode feels completely different. And here we are in a completely different environment making it. And it's brave to come out here, and it's exciting.
From exotic locations to iconic sets, we also got to see the Doctor up to his old tricks, stealing yet another TARDIS. But this one was a blast from the past, harking back to the birth of the show.
There's just something quite iconic. It's sort of welded into everyone's imagination that that's what the original TARDIS looked like. And it was just exciting to see, and Peter loved it.
You know, it's the granddaddy of the TARDIS that we have now, and it looks beautiful. It has a timeless quality about it. I wouldn't like to choose, because I love my TARDIS too. You know, it's beautiful, but it's grown from the original one. I think they could mix them up. I think we should have some elements of the old one in the new one.
There's something so quintessentially Doctor Who about that white, stark kind of scientific image. So I think it's great. It's really, really cool. But there's something about our TARDIS as well that is home. That's our home.
All the little dials and stuff, and they all work and flick, and all the little lights and things. Like, it's the attention to detail is great. This is every fanboy's dream, and I get to do this as my job.
Yes, it wasn't only the Time Lords hiding at the end of the universe. We also meet the immortal Ashilda. Forced to live through billions of years has had a dramatic effect on her too.
Well, she's now impossibly ancient and quite sort of serene. She's far older than the Doctor. She's certainly not alarmed by him anymore. She's not merely his equal. She's outgrown him.
The one and only me. Finally, you earned the title. Sitting here in a reality bubble at the end of time itself. How are you sustaining it, by the way?
Brilliantly. I didn't know I'd be back again, but I'm glad I am, because after the end of the previous episode that I'm in, it was nice to have something that would round off my character nicely. Coming into episode 12, I think she's a lot more mature and has accepted her life and what it is and what immortality is, and is now living through that rather than resenting it.
Every script I'm going to open, I'm going to expect Ashilda to pop up somewhere. And I think she's starting to operate a little bit like Jiminy Cricket. You know, she's sort of a conscience for the Doctor, because she understands about immortality and the loss that comes with that. I think she is able to speak frankly to them. We're both creatures who look into eternity.
In what seems like a fitting end for the impossible girl, Clara leaves the Doctor to go on her own adventures through time and space.
Well, I think if the story of Clara is of her becoming progressively more like the Doctor, I could think of no more just way for her to leave than to fly off in a stolen TARDIS.
I like the fact that it's the glimmer of she can keep carrying on and keep adventuring and keep travelling, and also with a Shielder as well, who's a pretty cool companion to have.
I much prefer to the idea of Clara just reaching a conclusion which she can't come back from, because this way, we could meet again, and the idea that we would never be able to cross paths again is sad. So I'm glad that it's been resolved in a way that's open-ended.
It feels like a hopeful ending. And I mean, she ends up with her own TARDIS.
Where are we going? Gallifrey. Like I said. Gallifrey. The long way around.
For Jenna, her time on the TARDIS was up. This would be her last day on the show.
It's going to be really strange, I think. I think life without Doctor Who, it's been the best part of my life for the last 4 years now. So I think life will be really, really strange without it. I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to tell these stories, because there's something really fantastical and magical.
It's a wonderful journey of Jenna.
But she couldn't leave without a few mementos.
I might have stolen a bit of TARDIS. I've also stolen my TARDIS key, and I'm not giving that back. That's mine.
So we'll just give you a few gifts.
Thank you.
And you're going to be an incredibly hard act to follow.
And I'm working on stealing one of the police box light bars as well.
And chaps, Angela, thank you very much.
With Clara still out in the universe, what will come of her? Will we ever see her again?
We're never going to know where Clara goes next or what she does. I think my theory is that there'll be a lot of adventures for Clara and for a Shielder flying around in that TARDIS, having the time of their lives. She knows she has to go back. She knows there is no escape, unless cleverly there is. But that's not a story we're going to see.
The Immortal and the Impossible Girl, who travel in time and space with their own TARDIS. It's a pretty cool ending for a school teacher from Lancashire.